Oh my god.
Immediate medical
Jesus
assistance
Christ.
needed.
I'm trying to understand the talent. That worked. That worked. I did take a hit on the face with that grenadier. So I was in the live stream the other day and I was testing the new gear set that's coming in the Year 5 Season 1, which is called the Cavalier. Now at first glance, when you see this gear set and the bonus and what it does, you will think this gear set is a PvP gear set, which is what I thought about it, right? And as a fact, I did make a video about it. I made a PvP build and I showed this gear set in action in PvP. So if you want to check that out, I'll leave a link down in the description right under the like button. Now moving on this video, I did want to make a PvE build with this gear set and see if it worked. Someone in the chat when I was live streaming gave me a great idea. They said, what about if we put that gear set with the BACKFIRE? That's a great idea because the BACKFIRE, if you don't know, the BACKFIRE has this talent that if you reload your weapon, it will bleed you out. So with that said, you need hazard protection to be able to use the BACKFIRE more efficiently, right? And I do not like to get bleed out because you slow down and also, I mean, you lose your health. And that's what we did. We put a build together that's gonna allow us to run the BACKFIRE fully without worrying about having that bleed effect on us because we have 100% hazard protection. And not only that, we still have a lot of damage. We can get up to 200% crit damage from the BACKFIRE itself, from the talent, and also we have another 100% on the build, so which is gonna put us at 300, a little bit over 300 crit damage with this build once you are able to activate the full BACKFIRE talent, right? Fire, fire, fire. Definitely I'm not taking as much damage. Yep. Fire effect is on, not on. So let's start with the weapon, right? So we have the SMG exotic weapon, the BACKFIRE. This is an exotic weapon that comes from a regular SMG in the game called the MPX, which by the way is one of my favorite SMGs. So with the BACKFIRE, it's gonna be having about the same stats as the MPX. The base damage comes with a 53.1k per bullet, the RPM is 850, and the BACKFIRE itself has a 56 rounds on the magazine. For this exotic, the core attribute is going to be SMG damage and crit chance, and the attributes unfortunately is 12% magazine size. If I could change that though, that's one of the things I would change. Now the reason why we are talking about this weapon and this gear set is because of the talent, right? So the payment in kind. Dealing damage to enemies adds a stack of 1% crit hit damage up to 200 stacks lasting 10 seconds. And right there, basically, we can get technically up to 200% crit damage if you have enough enemies to hit them and, you know, add those stacks and have that for about 10 seconds. Now, the second part of this talent, this is where we need that hazard protection build, and this is why a lot of people do not use the BACKFIRE, and I feel like this gear set will be allowing us to fix that a little bit faster. So on reload, apply a 10 seconds bleed to yourself, which deals 0.5% armor damage per stack. So basically, the more stacks you have, right, the more damage it will do to your armor, and you have that bleed for 10 seconds. Now, if you have a build that has 100% hazard protection, which is, you know, 100% bleed resistance, that will cancel that second part of that talent completely. So you will not be getting bleed out, but you can get the crit damage of the weapon, which is the best part of this weapon. And this is where the new gear set, the Cavalier gear set, comes in to help us out. So the Cavalier gear set, right from the bat, by equipping 2 pieces, you gain a 30% hazard protection. Right there, that helps us out towards having that 100% hazard protection to cancel that bleed. If you equip 3 pieces of this gear set, you also gain a plus 40% repair skills. Now I have not tested that out, but let's say on this build also you can add up a skill in there, like fix a drone or something like that, it will be healing you for 40% faster, right? So moving on, if you equip 4 pieces of this gear set, you gain the talent charging. So it has 2 parts on this talent. So the first one, charging. For each second spent out of cover during combat, agents will get 5% reduced incoming damage for a maximum of 40%. Basically what I was testing, one time I got hit in the face with a grenadier from a boss and nothing happened. So I believe I got saved right there with this talent right here. Now this talent, it goes on and off. You know, sometimes it will be active, sometimes it will not. So when it's charged, we have the second part. So while fully charged, gain immunity to any movement speed debuff and share this with all of the agents. Has a protection, additional skill damage reduction with all allies for 10 seconds. So after charge is consumed, charging buff will resume if still in combat and out of cover. So for the gear set, we have 3 of them on this build. As you can see, we have the mask that has core attribute armor, attribute has a protection and a mod of crit chance. We have the gloves with the core attribute armor and attribute hazard protection. And last but not least, we have the knee pads with the core attribute armor and attribute hazard protection. Now as you see, that was 3 and we have the 4th piece active. That's because we have the Ninja Bike Backpack exotic equipped in this build. So for the new players, if you don't know what the Ninja Bike Backpack does, basically what it does is it will count as the next bonus or next set equipped for any gear set or brand set in your build. And that's the beauty of the Ninja Bike Backpack. Now it comes with the 3 core attributes, weapon damage, armor and skill tier, with a mod slot which I have 12% crit damage in there. The last 2 pieces will be a chasca on the holster, which is going to give us a 10% crit chance and a 10% hazard protection from the bonuses. And then on the core attribute, we have weapon damage, attribute hazard protection and crit damage in there. Circle of concern will be on the chest piece, and we're going to have 2 of the bonuses from it in this build. That's going to be a 10% SMG damage and a 15% crit damage. The core attribute weapon damage, attribute crit chance, hazard protection, and also the mod of crit damage. And then on top of it, we'll have the talent obliterated on this build. That's coming on the chest piece. Critical hits increase total weapon damage by 1% for 5 seconds, stacking up to 25 times. For the specialization, I went with no other than the gunner specialization, and that's because I did want to get that 10% armor on kill. And not only that, we do get a 5% rate of fire increase after a kill for 5 seconds, which means that's going to be a DPS increase. Moving for the skills, this doesn't really matter. I did use the striker drone in here and also the holographic distraction decoy. That's one of my 2 favorite skills that I use a lot. So whatever you want to use in here, that's up to you. If you want to use shield, you could use a shield. So to finish this off and taking a look at the stats, keep in mind this is a build with 1.5 million armor, so it's kind of a tanky build. We have 103,000 damage per bullet on this backfire, 58% crit chance, which is quite good, right there next to the 60% cap, 101% crit damage, and that's before we gain any crit damage from the backfire SMG itself, which if we get that 200% max, this could put us at 301% crit damage, which is quite nice. Also we have a 70% headshot damage, and that's about it. So that's it. What you guys think of this build? I think like this is the way that I can get back onto backfire if I want to use it, because this gear set will just make hazard protection build a lot more viable, a lot easier and faster, and also we have that damage reduction, right? So yeah, I was pretty impressed with this build when I put it up. And keep in mind, this was a tank build, right? If I made it a full damage build, it could be even better, right? With that said, if you guys enjoyed this video, a like on it would be super appreciated. If you're new, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Take care, everybody. Take less damage, definitely less damage. It's 40%, it's not crazy in amount, but it does work, chat. It depends. It's over time though. I like that. I like the way it's working right now.